you're a home buyer, somebody or a young person looking to buy a home, you need a bit of a reset.
There is a possibility on the other side of this that inflation could actually be quite low.
Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is going to be absolutely bonkers. Now, the data is in, and we're going to go over everything unemployment and layoff today, and also going to go over the employment information just to see what jobs were real, what jobs were fake, because the reality is we got two different narratives here. We got mainstream media headlines that basically every big company is making layoffs. Up to 30% of companies plan layoffs this year, yet we have a 3.7 We have a 3.7% unemployment rate, and we've been in quantitative tightening for 2 years. I believe the primary reason we still have low unemployment is obviously things are propped up, but the PPP and the EIDL loans were designed to keep people in business through lockdowns. So quantitative tightening, the lag effects are just taking a lot longer before unemployment becomes unhinged. But regardless, it's important to understand what's going on right now so that we can prepare in the future for a potential unemployment phenomenon. Now, I'm going to try to remain unbiased and just go over the data. And let's start here with me saying that I'm not a financial advisor, even though my bio is as a realtor, loan officer, and instructor in real estate for the last 20 years. So I know a little bit about real estate, and I will always side with consumers over investors. And if you guys can, please, for that rambling, please like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, shoot me a comment below, and hit notifications. And also, real quick, big shout out to Jason Walter, who has been helping me with my editing. I'm going to give you guys the link below. If you guys need any editing, reach out to this man. I absolutely love him, and it's very affordable. We're going to start with a few articles here, starting here with News Nation Now, title being Tens of Thousands Face Limbo as 2024 Job Cuts Begin. And it's a couple bullet points here. UPS recently announced 12,000 layoffs after they just got a raise. So here's your raise. And oh, by the way, you're fired. You guys get it? You get what's coming down the pipeline? Layoffs extend across tech, retail, and now media companies. Many companies are shifting to a higher reliance on AI. So we got a couple things going on here. We got quantitative tightening happen, and we have the AI phenomena happening. We don't even know the effects of AI yet, and we don't even know the effects of quantitative tightening yet as the result of the overwhelming amount of money in the system. But let's continue. Okay, as you guys can see here, starting with the banking sector. And now I'm going to tell you guys right now, the banking sector was saved by the Bank Term Funding Program. That was a result of the bank runs that started in March of 2023. If it was not for the Bank Term Funding Program, we would be seeing a lot more banks and mortgage company and depository institutions shutting down and laying off people. But they bailed out the banks. I don't care how you look at it. They bailed out the banks. Now, here's Citigroup. Citigroup cut 20,000 jobs. That is big time. The bank will save about $2.5 billion following a disappointing fourth quarter. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. When they're not making as much money, they're going to cut their staff. And that's going to create layoffs. That layoff effect will domino into other sectors. Now, Citigroup finished 2023 with about 20,000 employees. So they laid off 10% of their staff. That's a big company. Not counting its Mexico operations, which are being spun off. The company announced in January it will slash 20,000 additional jobs by the end of 2026 as a wider company reorganization effort, the Wall Street Journal reported. And you guys have probably seen in the news recently that UPS also just slashed their workforce right after agreeing to pay raises. Again, those 12,000 people thought they were getting a pay raise, but instead they got laid off. Citing year after year revenue declines, the Atlanta-based company announced this week it is eliminating 12,000 positions, which will save an estimated $1 billion. And I'm going to tell you guys, these companies are committed to stockholders and their stock prices, not their employees. You should know that. And look at this. Salesforce laid off 7,350 jobs. That's 10% of its workforce. Holy smokes. And that's not all, you guys. Microsoft is laying off 1,900 people, eBay 1,000 people, and Google, which I'm about to cover here shortly, is going to lay off a ridiculous amount of people in 2024. They've already cut 12,000 jobs as of 2023. Now, here's an article from CNBC regarding AI. Recent data shows AI job losses are rising, but the numbers don't tell the full story. Now, they have 3 bullet points. This will be linked in my description if you want to go into this detail. But the 3 bullet points are: more than 1/3 of business leaders say AI replaced workers in 2023. I'm going to read that again because I don't think people are getting it. More than 1/3 of business leaders say AI replaced workers in 2023, and AI just came out. This goes on. While positions like research and data analysts are in line for AI automation, companies will still need someone to prompt the AI, make sense of the results, and take action. But they don't need many people to do that because the hard part is the research. And then we have this breaking article right here. CEOs say generative AI will result in job cuts in 2024. So they're coming, you guys. And in fact, they're already here in some companies. Couple paragraphs here. A quarter of the global, not just America, a quarter of the global chief executives expect the deployment of generative artificial intelligence to lead the headcount reductions of at least 5% this year. Our unemployment rate is 3.7. Imagine an unemployment rate of 8.7. Everything would completely go under. And this is worldwide. They're saying 5% of people will be unemployed as a result of AI worldwide. Holy smokes. Industries led by media and entertainment, banking, insurance, and logistics were most likely to predict job losses according to cutting-edge AI tools. According to the poll, top directors conducted by PwC ahead of this week's World Economic Forum, engineering and constructing firms were least likely to acquire cuts because of automation alongside technology companies. A little bit more details here. Citigroup plans 20,000 job cuts as it reports worst quarter in 14 years. We're going to start seeing, in my opinion, a lot more of this in the banking sector, but Citigroup appears to be leading job cuts. And here's another article about employment, which is crazy. This is basically saying things are so unaffordable, people can't even afford to go to work, especially when you add childcare in the mix. I mean, people can't, think of what I'm saying. People can't even afford to go to work. That's insane to me. Unemployment, Gen Zers are having to turn down work because they can't afford the commute and uniform, report says. Think about that. And not only that, you guys, people are committing fraud because even with a full-time job, things are just too unaffordable to live. CT man accused of collecting almost $30,000 in unemployment benefits while working full-time job. Report: Oregon sees second largest unemployment spike in the U.S. in recent week. Unemployment claim in the U.S. increased to 4.2% between January 8th and January 22nd. The cooling job market was essentially noticeable in Oregon. So this is spreading around at different stages in different areas. So again, we have all of these headlines, these massive companies that are supposed to be strong already doing massive layoffs, but the labor market, although softening, remains strong, apparently, especially when we look at this. The unemployment rate. The unemployment rate is only 3.7. That is historically ridiculously low. And one of the reasons why Jerome Powell is going to keep interest rates higher for longer in order to cool off the economy. Sadly, they take it out of the consumers. Consumers need to stop spending money because it's increasing the inflation and prices, obviously. And so they are going to continue to have rates elevated until the unemployment happens. Now, also, I want to point out that when recession hits, unemployment skyrockets. And at the start of many recessions, the unemployment rate was super low, actually. So again, the 2000s recessions, it was down to about 3.9 to 4. The 2007 recession or GFC, it was in the 4. So, and then also the lockdown recession, which really doesn't count, it was the same as what it was right now. So look, going into August 2019, unemployment was 3.6. But literally in a matter of a few months, it went from 3.6 to 14.8 in 3 months. So, kind of the writing's on the wall here. And really, that's what I would define at this point, seeing all the crazy things that have been happening this year. A recession is job loss. So even though the White House changed the definition of recession, I kind of okay, I get it, because without job loss, is it really a recession? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is. Obviously, when companies do bad, like we just saw, when they can no longer afford to operate and make profit, the first thing that goes is their labor. That's one of the biggest costs of these companies. So obviously, if they have to cost cut, they're coming for you. They're coming for your salary. They don't care about you. When the money's coming in, they want to act like your family. But when the money stops, they will cut you like dead meat. And that's sad, but it's the reality of how things work in America in the job market right now. And that is not all, you guys. I want to go over the employment numbers that just came out because everyone was celebrating 350,000 new jobs. So the first thing I want to show you guys, this is so crazy, is the revisions. Okay, so this is really cool. This will be linked in my description if you want to look at the revisions, but I'm just going to read this. Okay, so again, everyone's celebrating the absolutely great labor market, but what they're doing under the table is they're revising the numbers downward. Do y'all hear me on that? Okay, to me, that looks like total manipulation because it's all downward adjustments, starting with January. So in January, there is an adjustment of 234,000 jobs removed. So they overcounted the jobs in January by 250,000. You guys, it's 2024, 2023. How's that even possible? Now, February, they also did a downward revision of 195,000 jobs. Oh my gosh. Now, in March, they did a downward reduction of over 250,000 jobs at 266,000 jobs that were not really there. They were made up. Now, April was 205,000 jobs that just disappeared. May, 183,000. You guys starting to see where I'm getting at here. June, 48,000. July, 100,000. I mean, it keeps going. August, 55,000. How do you keep making these mistakes? September, 71,000. October, 11,000. I mean, do we still trust these numbers? Do we still trust them? I mean, seriously. And this is revisions on top of revisions. You guys, this is revisions on top of revisions. November, it's only saying 2,000. And it says December, it went up 115,000. But again, that was last month. There'll probably be revisions right there. So in other words, what I'm saying is even the data is painting a picture that's not real. It's not real. No one's talking about these revisions. The difference is right here. Look at this, guys. It's all right here for you. Think about what I'm saying. All right, here's the household data right here. And I just want to look at full-time/part-time jobs. So I wanted to remind you guys from December, this is the December where I'm circling right here. I know it's a little small. We lost 1.5 million full-time jobs in December. We gained over 700,000 part-time jobs. But I also wanted to point out, we also lost jobs in January. We lost full-time jobs, you guys, about 63,000 full-time jobs until it's revised downward. Remember, it's going to be revised downward. We lost 63,000 full-time jobs. We gained about 90,000-ish, a little more than 90,000 part-time jobs. So we are being gutted right now. Again, 1.5 million full-time jobs. Are you kidding me? In December, in just 1 month? How the heck is that possible? And we gained 700,000 part-time jobs. I mean, you guys starting to see the problem here? I mean, in all of this data, it looks horrible, and it's going to be revised to even worse. This is going to get even worse as long as, I mean, that's what the trend says, right? Comment below. Am I wrong here? Doesn't the trend say all this information is going to get worse? Isn't that the trend that we've been seeing happening? And also I asked myself, is the government just manipulating this data? Like, how much are government workers making, right? Is all the wage growth coming from government jobs? I really wish I can get that data, but what I can show you guys is government workers, the unemployment rate, it's only 1.8%. So obviously the government numbers are keeping the labor market propped up and appearing that it's more resilient than it actually is. And if we look here at this list, this page right here, it's actually very interesting. Government workers actually have the lowest unemployment rate. Coincidence? Let me know what you think. Listen, guys, when all is said and done, the solution is you. We are literally facing an uphill battle. Things are getting much more difficult. So what I would like to tell you guys is it's not too late to prepare for the worst. You can hope for the best. You can disagree with me. That's fine. Okay. Or he's just a doomer, blah, blah, blah. You can disagree with these things, but for the love of all that's holy, prepare for them. You can, again, expect great things. We want to be happy. We want to enjoy our lives. But we want to prepare for bad things. And again, that starts with you. And some of the things that I wish that I did prior to me losing everything during the GFC is I wish I would have rebudgeted and changed my spending habits just 6 months before I lost everything. If I would have just changed the way I lived, I would not have lost everything. And when I lost everything, you guys, because I lost my job, I can no longer afford my house, my car, so foreclosure, bankruptcy, repo, all those things. It took me 9 years of crawling through the gutter to get myself back up and to have outstanding purchasing power like I have right now. I have the ability to purchase multiple houses. I'm choosing not to. I'm choosing to rent. And while I'm renting, I'm trying to improve all aspects of my purchasing power. And another big thing, and I may actually do this and I may take you guys through this as I do this myself, I'm going to start a side company. I don't know what it is exactly, but I'm going to start another self-employment company in anticipation of a market slowdown going into 2024 and into 2025. And there are so many side hustles that we could do that don't cost that much money to start up, like pressure washing, landscaping, painting, tutoring, things of that nature. So I'm actually probably going to do that. That's something that maybe you guys should consider as well. YouTube literally will teach you anything you want to know, almost anything you want to know. So I really strongly suggest you guys go to YouTube, say, what's the top side hustles, and see if that's something that you would love to do, because we're going to need to make as much money as possible, especially as things get much tighter. Remember, you guys, cash is king. Now, if you're out there investing in real estate, you guys already know. I wish you luck, and I hope you win.